Alright lads, so today unfortunately did not get mid-month banner news. For those that are unaware of the situation, it was supposed to get announced today since it is Friday and mid-month banner news is set to release on the Sunday. K-Lab usually don't announce banner news on a weekend. So we were expecting it today, it didn't happen, so it should happen this upcoming Monday or again on the 13th. Either way though, since we are currently celebrating the 8th anniversary and it's starting to slowly wrap up, I thought now would be a good time to showcase my main account. You know, last week we showcased my alt account. It's a pretty good account for someone that I kind of just do on the side and don't spend money on. In this case though, let's show what a 8-year account looks like, someone that spends money actively on this game. And also, I play this game quite a lot, so it is a pretty beefy account. And I guess for anyone that's just starting the game new, this is a decent example of what it looks like when you pretty much sweat out this game. Anyway, let's have a look here, right? So this is my current profile. As you can see here, we have 2,099 character completion, but we only have 2,096 max level characters. Unfortunately, back when I started playing the game, there were a few 4 stars that I never maxed out and sold, and unfortunately, even like 7 years later, they have yet to come back, even though we have a system in place for old events to return in the sub-stories. I'm desperately begging for Caleb to return those characters so I can get the max level completion, because it has been triggering me for the better half for like 6 years now. When it comes to my top 5 most used characters, it feels a bit outdated because I don't use these characters as much anymore, but most of these were done around a year or 2 ago, and you can see without a doubt my favorite character in the entire game by a big margin is Spirit Arthur with Yuritsu, and for the main reason is because 1, I like Yatsuri Unohana. This was our closest version to a Yatsuri Unohana for a few years, right? But she was just really fun. I was very fortunate enough to get a max translator when she did release, and at the same time she is a really good autoer, probably my fastest autoer in the entire game with the way she just uses her strong attacks. She's able to clear point events very fast regardless of attribute, and that's why she has the most players on my account, closing near 80,000. She's just simply been my go-to point event farmer for the better half of 2 years now. I have no idea when I'm ever going to get a new character into my top 5, but one character I can guarantee is a new Giselle. If we ever do get that, maybe even a new Aaroniero, my main goal will be to get that character to my number 1 slot. Or at the very least get them to number 5, because beating 80,000 plays, it's going to take quite some time. When it comes to my top 5 links, you can see a little pattern we have going on here. We have Squad 0 characters. And yes, it does trigger me that there is no power Squad 0 character. Instead, we got 2 speeds. Now, the goal right now is to get them all to 50,000 links and then stop using them. And unfortunately, I'm kind of short on time right now. Potentially sometime next month, on the 13th of September, we might be getting Uetsu and Ichibe's resurrection. And when they do resurrect, it means their plays don't count towards this character number. So that unfortunately does mean if I don't get them all to 50,000 by next month, I can't resurrect Ichibe or Uetsu because then their number won't be updating anymore. So I'm kind of short on time. I kind of have to do the final bit of pushing. And I'm not sure if I will do that because I really don't play point events that much. But I might just have to do it to get them all to 50,000 plays, and then I can retire them, stop using them as links, and then resurrect them. So for some reason, if I ever do decide to use them as a link, this number won't get updated because a resurrection character counts as an entirely new character. When it comes to the story, of course, I've done it all. I make sure to grab any, even though I'm paid to play and I spend money in this game, I do also make sure I grab every free-to-play all possible, because otherwise that means I have to spend more money on the game, right? When it comes to Brave battles, I usually sit around Lieutenant and also third seat. I just casually chill in there, and doing so does allow me to buy all the free-to-play orbs from that particular mode every month. When it comes to Limit Breaker Quest, because we do have now this on the page, of course, the first iteration of the mode back in June, I used this following team, got to stage 24. My main goal was to try and get to stage 25. Unfortunately, with the team that I did have, it wasn't possible. Unfortunately, at the time, I did not own Quincy Ichigo, and that's kind of what held me back, because Quincy Ichigo is without doubt the best character for slot 1. If I had him, I'd probably be able to push to like stage 27, maybe even stage 30. But luckily this time around, when it came to the second set of Limit Breaker quests, we had the perfect team for it, and we were able to get to stage 32 with the rainbow badge. For the most part, my main goal for every Limit Breaker quest is to get to stage 20, but the main idea is to try and push to stage 25 if I possibly can. When it comes to Guild Quest content, of course, I do have the highest score in the entire game, that being 890. As of right now, that is the world record for a Guild Quest run, because we're capped out at 0 seconds. We can't get any faster than that. Keep in mind, though, we are going to get a new Guild Quest potentially in around a month or 2, and of course, with the new difficulty, that means we're going to get a higher score, so this score will be redundant in the next few months. But my main goal potentially before that new guild quest does start is to try and get a perfect run, a 300 million to 30, which is a 0-second run across the entire week. But that takes a lot of resetting. I'm not sure I'm going to do it, but I will try it before the new guild quest does officially start. When it comes to Senkaman content, we have been doing quite a few speedruns over the last few months. As you can see here, we have some really fast clear times. Unfortunately, I can't go back to the old Senkaman towers where I didn't speedrun them, mainly the past anniversary towers, for example. But you can see here, those that we can do, Tower of Forging, Ordeals, Warrior's Path, Path of Valor, we tried to get a sub 10 minutes. In some cases, sub 5 minutes. And you can see we have a pretty good clear time for the most part, right? The only towers I need to go back and do right now is Iceberger Training and Iceberger Perseverance. Iceberger Perseverance I'll do sometime this month. When it comes to Iceberger Training, I have to wait to do that next month. I've almost completed 40,000 epic rates, which is kind of crazy to think about, but that's my go-to way to farm links or potions and droplets. When it comes to familiars, I do own every familiar. I just haven't picked up the new Mayuri. We'll do that soon. And again, unfortunately, I will never have a max level familiars because one familiar in particular, which was, I believe was for the 6th anniversary, it was a con event. I got the pet, but for some reason never did enough runs to max it out. It triggers me to this day, and I do hope it returns so I can get that max level completion. When it comes to my top 5 most used familiars, I don't really have a favorite familiar, so I'm not really accustomed to any of these. I do like the Yuha, but for the most part, I don't even use familiars anymore. Until we get like a really cool one. If we get an Aaroniero one, that would definitely be my most used, and I will use that all the time. But besides Yuha, I haven't really been attached to a familiar as of late, so I'm looking forward to some new ones to potentially replace or become my favorite familiar and become my potential most used familiar. Obviously, I've done all the Chronicle quests. I have 2,737 days logged in. And then I guess lastly, when it comes to Arena, I have 2,000 wins and only 15 rank 10 characters. But there's a lot of characters that are close. I'm definitely going to try and push that up to 20, maybe even 30, potentially sometime this month. Moving away from the profile, now let's have a look at my album for those that are curious. So in this case, we have basically every character in the game for the first few years. There was a time where I was missing some characters like Yamamoto, for example, this one right here. But buying the collector's pass, I was able to pick him up, and any potential character that I'm missing that gets resurrected, I'll just pick them up through the character packs. So as you can see here, we just have every single character. There was, of course, a time where I was missing a few of them, but as I've been playing the game for a while now, especially someone that does spend money in the game, it's expected I'm going to have every character at least for the first 6 years, right? 5 years almost. So just keep scrolling up. You can see perfect character completion. We are slowly about to come up to a time where I don't own one character. Right now, we're leading into the 5th anniversary. So right now, 5th anniversary, I have every character for the first 5 years. Then we come to our first set of characters that I am missing. And unfortunately, it is 1,000-year Blood Bowl characters, that being Lie and also Izuru. Unfortunately, just don't get many opportunities to pull for them. Despite that, I have pulled on banners where they were available. I just, for some reason, can't get these characters. I did 25 steps on the most recent 1,000-year Blood Bowl banner, and Lie was in there. And I just didn't get him. At the same time, I think Izuru was available last year on the anniversary banner, and again, just didn't get him. These are just the 2 characters that for some reason I just cannot obtain. Other than that, Kugo's my oldest and only current field character that I do not own. Would love to pick him up sometime in the future. And then I'm missing the movie characters. Now, for those that are wondering, I have yet to pull a single movie character on this account. I just never pulled for them. They always released at bad times, and they've never really been too enticing for me. And since these characters aren't resurrectable, I cannot buy them, so I don't own them. If we scroll back a few years to when movie characters were actually available, you can see here I do own them, but I only own them because I bought them from the character packs. I've never actually pulled a movie character, I just bought them when they resurrected. So I guess that's one unique thing about my account to a certain extent, is that I've just never pulled a movie character. And unfortunately, these characters are going to stay unowned because I'm never going to pull for them unless they do resurrect. So ignoring movie characters, besides that, we have the Spirit Society Ichigo. I guess he's the oldest seasonal character that I am missing. Again, I pulled on banners that he's been available, I just never pulled him. But he is going to be available in tomorrow's banner with Unohana, so I'm hoping to kind of pick him up there. Continuing on, I'm missing White Day Aizen, Swimsuit Neriel, and then a few recent premium characters. Now we're coming up to post 7th anniversary, so it's understandable that I'm going to be missing some premium seasonal characters here. They are still somewhat new. I don't get many opportunities to pull for them. So the hope is to try and get them sometime in the future, right? But yeah, I'm quite happy with my character completion. If I want a character, I do get them. If I'm missing someone, it means that I'm not really that enticed to pull for them right now, or I could live without them. For example, Gin and Mayuri, would love to have them actually, but I get by without them, right? Tenta is someone that I would be desperate to have, but lucky for me, I do have a second account that does have him, so I technically don't need him right now. Because if I want to do some IT farming, I just carry with my alt account. But yeah, that's essentially what my album looks like. Now let's have a look at our characters, right? We saw the album, but how worked on are the characters, right? Well, one thing that's special about my account, if we actually sort by it, if we do this, you'll see no character because every character in my box is at T10. So 10, 10, 10. Level 30 link slots across the board, right? That's one thing I did before T20 came out, or level 20 link slots, is that I did go ahead and T10 everyone, level 10 link slots, even some duplicate characters. And the main reason was because it looked cool. It was that simple. It got me playing the game, actively playing IZ every single day because it looked cool. Seeing the red numbers compared to the green numbers gave me that motivation, the dedication to play IZ every day to max out every character. And it took some time. It was not something that I did overnight. It was something that I was working on for many, many months. And now, to be fair, it's so easy to do that with how easy it is to farm links or potions. And because it's so easy, my main goal, if you do follow the channel, is to try and get every character to max link slots, which right now is 20, 20, 20. And we're trying that. We're going for it right now. Every character you do see here is T20, and for the most part, any new character that I do get is instantly put to T20. So as of right now, I'm basically working down the years. Right now, we're on around the 6th anniversary. Now we're on the 5th anniversary. It's still going down. And now we're on the 4th anniversary. So that is my main goal in BBS right now, is to T20 everyone in my box. It does take a long time. Will I be able to ever do it? Potentially, because if we do have a look at my character's items here, we have a lot of farming items here. What I basically need in every single attribute is 600,000 droplets, around 480,000 links or potions, and around 280,000 super links or potions. So we are slowly but surely getting there. As of right now, my main goal is to farm the links or potions because you need a lot of those. And essentially, as of now, I'm stopping when I get to 400,000. Because when I start to farm the super links or potions, again, I need around 280,000. By the time I farm that up, I'll also be farming a decent amount of links or potions, and that would take me up to the 480,000 that I do need. The droplets will be the last thing that I do farm, but luckily we are now starting to get droplet farmers that actually can farm a large amount of droplets while also getting links or potions, for example, Chojuro. And that's why you can see when it comes to the droplets in particular, I have a lot in the speed attribute almost done because Chojuro is actually pretty good for farming droplets. So going forward into the future, I might actually pull for these droplet characters with the idea just to make it easier for me to get droplets, because that will be the last thing I farm, and it's kind of the thing I'm dreading the most. But we are getting there, to be fair. Slowly but surely, maybe by the end of the year, I might have my entire box T20. With that said though, if we sort by max transcendent, these are my max transcendent characters. If we scroll down, I'm not sure why I've done some of these. These are just some of the older characters that I max transcended when the game first got max transcendence. Other than that though, you know, I do some of the more important ones, right? 5th anniversary with the meta at the time when they first came out. Of course, I went to max transcend them. Burn the Witch, I try and max transcend every Burn the Witch character. But at the time of their release, Burn the Witch characters were some of the best characters in the entire game. And of course, I'm going to max transcend some of my favorite characters like Azushiro, this Yoruichi and Retsu. But of course, I also do try to max transcend some of the best characters in the game that help me in Guild Quest content, like the Anniversary Ichigo and Uryu, like Yamamoto, the Burn the Witch characters in White, for example. I don't always max transcend characters, but those that are really good in Guild Quest that I really do like playing with, I am going to try and go max transcend them, get them 5 out of 5. For example, this character is getting an individual banner tomorrow. I have 3 rainbow move sources willing to use on her, so all I need to do is get 1 copy of her in 10 steps. And hopefully I can get that because I do want to get to max transcended for the Captain Killer Guild Quest. But it's also Yatsu. She's iconic in the game. I love playing with her and would love to get her max transcended. If we sort by special move level 5 though, these are the characters that I do have fully duped out. I don't always dupe out characters. Sometimes I do it if I like the character, if they're a good link, or if they're a really good character. So you can see here, these are all my special move level 5 characters. I don't have too many, to be fair, because I do sell a lot of characters, right? I don't always 5 out of 5 every single character. But with that said, we've done a lot of characters that are close to special move level 5, like the new Yamamoto. Definitely going to try and get him 5/5 when his individual banner does drop. We have Misaki, would love to get her 5 out of 5 sometime in the future. Quincy Ichigo is definitely a character I want to get max duped. Same goes for this Aizen. Even this Shinji and Orihime, because they're really good links. Other than that, there's not really anyone else that I want duped out to max, because I'm kind of fine with my account. I can do most content in this game perfectly fine. You don't even need dupes in this game. But as someone that does like to get some really fast Guild Quest times, I do like max transcending some really good Guild Guild Quest characters. And as of right now, thanks to the characters that I have max transcended, I can get very fast clear times in almost every single Guild Quest. Thanks to Yachiru, and potentially once I do max transcender, I'll be able to get a sub 1 in the Captain Guild Quest. And with that, I should be able to get a sub 1 in every guild quest besides the Espada guild quest. Because as of right now, Okura is the only nuker for that particular week, and I don't have him duped out. I haven't had many opportunities to pull for him, only went on his individual banner. And he's technically worth using sources on because he is a guild quest nuker, but he's premium, and he's been out in the game for like 9 or so months now, so I'm not willing to use any move sources on him, despite it maybe being worth considering how useful he is in the guild quest game modes. But he's essentially the character that I'm aiming to get 5 out of 5 for the purpose of nuking a guild quest, and hopefully I can do that sometime in the future. But that's essentially it when it comes to my characters. Now let's have a look at my accessories. One thing I have been doing when it comes to my account is essentially just when you have so much time in this game and you've done everything, you try to set new goals for yourself. And one of my goals is to try and get a bunch of accessories perfected. So every accessory you see here is perfect rolls. 30 attack, 30 attack, 30 SP. These all have 30 attack, right? There's not a single 5-star accessory that I don't have with the max second trait. At the same time, if we go to the second effect and we sort by focus, there's nothing. Because what I've done is made it so every accessory has either SP or attack. At the same time, there's some other items that I put to stamina, stuff that doesn't need to be maxed out. Besides this one, I just got this recently, I need to fix this. But these items, for example, I just gave stamina to make it so I can easily sort them if I need to grab them up. And I've essentially done this in every single attribute, where I have like the perfect set of accessories, everything max level, or with either 30 attack or 30 SP, with some of the miscellaneous items being at 40% stamina. Now, the idea on why I've done this, and I'm still trying to max it out, is to get a complete set of accessories for every single character in my box. Now, it was just something that I thought was kind of fun to do. It's going to take a long time because I do need to max out all these accessories, but it potentially is going to pay off because sometime in the future, we are going to get a power level for every character. And if for some reason they implement a box power level, well then giving every character a set of accessories is actually going to buff my account power level to make it higher than others. And that's kind of something that I wanted to see in this game. So if they do that, then it meant this potential investment is worth it. But there's no reason to do it. I just have fun doing it, so that's why I did it. But having said that, I've yet to get around to doing it in the mind attribute, which is why I still have Yukis and Pupples. If you haven't realized in the other attributes, I've essentially sold Yukis and Pupples because quite frankly, I don't need them. I'll keep the Goldens because they are rare, but I've sold accessories that I just quite frankly do not need. But as of yet, I've yet to get around to doing the mind attribute because quite frankly, I'm running out of editing brushes. It took a lot, like 15,000 to fix up the 4 attributes. So I'm going to try and fix this up at the end of the month when we do get Extreme Co-op. Obviously, when it comes to the collectible accessories, I have collected every single one of them, all at max level. So obviously, I've been playing since the 1st anniversary upwards to the 8th anniversary. I was playing during all of the New Year's, so 2023, and of course the 2017 New Year's cards. I got the 2 Bleach 20th anniversary cards. This one is more recent, but we have the 2 anime cards, right? For playing during the first episode of Core 1 and 2. I have the Burn the Witch cards. And we also do have the movie one, when the movie came out back in, I believe, 2018. Now, one thing you will notice with these accessories in particular is that the second trait is all max stats, or all stats in particular, just to match the main trait, right? This took a lot of rerolling, by the way. These are very rare rolls. They're not that good, but I don't use these accessories, so it's fine. What I do use, though, is this one in particular, which is why this one does have 30% SP, because this one isn't all stat, it's movement speed. It's a really good actual accessory that I do use on auto in the point event, so I get 30% SP. Again, these are the familiars. I have maxed out every single one besides this one con that I mentioned. Have a bunch of other duplicates that I will eventually get around to max in. These are my materials for those that are wondering once more. A lot of links to potions, droplets, and also super links to potions. This is what I spend most of my time doing in this game, farming IT and IZ. When it comes to sources, I have 1 heart, 2 technique, and 3 rainbows. But again, as mentioned, those will be used to potentially 5 out of 5 Unohana tomorrow. I have a bunch of attribute scrolls because I just don't max transcend a lot of characters, no need to. And I guess for those that are wondering, let's sort by arena level or more so trophies, no rank. So these are my R10s. These are the characters that I most used in the arena game modes. Most of these are meta arena characters that I very much enjoyed using in that modes. And as of now, I'm still trying to push some of the final characters, right? Obviously, these are some of the arena characters that are good in the mode too. Very close to getting R10. But for the most part, I tried to get every character to R5, and that's why most characters here are R5. And that's when they get their second soul trait, almost so second arena trait, right? When it comes to trophies, I think my most used character is actually 1000 Year Blood War Round 14 Ichigo, which funny enough was done during like the first 2 to 3 months of the arena game mode, which was very buggy, and I somehow managed to get like 17,000 trophies. But that was when there was only really like few good characters to use, and he was my most used character, my most fun to play character at the time. time. But nowadays, I don't stick to using one character in Arena, which is why no one's really close to him. And you'll see it, the second I get a character to R10, I then switch to using someone new. I very rarely stick to using one character, which is why even, 2 years later, no one's really come close to 1,000 year Blood War, round 14 Ichigo. But yeah, with that said, lads, that was the video for today, showcasing my 8th anniversary account, yet to hit 8 years. Of course, the game hasn't been out for 8 years on the global side. Right now, we're like 7.5 years. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of the account. Been playing it, for the better half of 7.5 years now. I've essentially been playing since day one of global, but this account wasn't starting until like a week or two later, because I spent the first 2 weeks of the game re-rolling for an account. And actually, for those that are wondering, I started the account with this character right here. I love Videl Ichigo. He was my favorite character when the game first came out. I had to pick him up. And unfortunately, even 7.5 years later, 8 years at this point for JP, we've yet to get a new version of this character. Hopefully sometime in the future, and hopefully he is a really good character because I adore this character and would love for him to get remixed. So I'm going to end it on that. This was the character that I first started off my account, and if you made it to the end, let me know what character you started your account with. I'm curious to know. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and peace.